Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today I have another low budget obscure film for you folks. And this time around it's gonna be a martial arts film. Yep, this one right here folks. So I haven't reviewed a Kung Fu movie in quite a while, so I figured I would. It's on my to-do list again. And basically all my movie reviews were coming from this list, folks, because I've been watching so many movies. But that's the thing. I've always been watching a lot of movies. It was released on this movie packet, folks, obviously, and also again in this single disc DVD, you can get this version, or even on this movie pack, this 100 movie collection, and also not just that, and again on a single disc DVD, of course, and then of course it was again obviously released on VHS tape, of course. Not just that, and again on this single disc as well, folks. So yeah, also a 12 disc pack right here, folks. And again, another version of this was also released right here, folks. So yeah, it can be rather confusing on which version that you're supposed to be buying. I'm reviewing the American dubbed version, folks, just so you know, to be clear here. But anyway, as usual, let's get into the plot, shall we? So here we go. And there's plenty of action to be had, of course. So basically, the Shoujin Temple has been called the Temple of Divine Combat, of course, and as our main character must do lots of fighting, obviously. So anyway, within the walls of this legendary temple are perhaps some of the most powerful, mastered, most skilled martial arts fighters in the entire world. So the film deals with these relentless monks of combat, so to speak, and they'll strive to keep the Shaolin Temple from being overthrown by the evil individual who wants to have more power for himself. So basically, in other words, this is a power struggle, so to speak. That's the theme here. People become greedy with power, and I guess that makes sense when you think about it. It actually makes a whole lot of sense. Basically, that's what this film is focusing upon, folks. Which, of course, I would say is pretty good. I did enjoy this film as a whole. This was definitely a good movie overall. Even though, like I said a moment ago, this is the American version I'm reviewing, and I wish I could hunt down the original unedited version, of course, but that's going to be, of course, rather hard to do because this is a rather obscured film. So getting the unedited version will be hard to do, obviously, but oh well, of course. So yeah, there were a ton of these movies that were made back in the day. And there's a certain charm to these films, if you ask me, because I like the overall tone, the feel for it. It's very action packed, of course, which of course I don't mind. And that's kind of the point anyway. I don't mind a strong story with great characters, obviously. Their outfits, of course. And I do like the setting, the set design, and whatnot. It definitely gives you a sense of the time that they're in. Of course, this is a kung fu film that takes place back in the past in ancient Asia somewhere. So, in other words, it comes off like a period piece, which again is fine by me. I'm not that I'm complaining really. So, I feel that they were taking advantage of that in a good way, of course. Don't give you an overall feel of the period in which this film is taking place in, which of course is a pretty cool idea. A lot of films of this genre had done that back in the day anyway, so it doesn't really come out of a surprise really. So that I do think that's a good thing there. I don't mind it really. So anyway, this is rather fast paced. But one thing I have to say is that I don't blame the film all that much really, but it's something that was brought over here to this country. I thought the dubbing is pretty bad in some ways. It's not the worst, but still could have be handled a lot better. If that doesn't bother you too much, I guess you still enjoy the film anyway, like I did. I enjoyed it. And the editing did come off rather choppy, but I kind of blame it in the editing of the American version because when it comes to the foreign films, they tend to edit a lot of stuff anyway for whatever reason, whether it be too violent or whatever reason, I guess you would say. But this isn't anything new because like what happened with the old Godzilla and Gamera films, the original versions of those old original films were heavily re-edited because some of the material might be offensive towards families, of course, and they want to water it down. So that same effect had occurred to some of the kung fu films that they just basically want to make sure if there's anything offensive, it to be watered down. Some violence was, of course, allowed, but they always made sure it wasn't too violent, obviously. Which, if you ask me, is bullshit. And I'm not saying that this would happen here, but there's a good chance that it might have. Again, I've not seen the original version of this film, which I wouldn't mind to really, but point is that there's a good chance they may have actually watered stuff down and whatnot. They are known for doing that for foreign countries and whatnot. It doesn't matter if it came from some countries from Asia, as long as if it's too violent or too gruesome for whatever reason, they just water it down. Which, if you ask me, is pretty damn stupid. All right, that's my slight rant there, I guess you can say. But anyway, I did like this film, folks. It's pretty crazy in its own little way. It really makes me feel like they don't make kung fu movies like they do anymore. You know, this is definitely an old school film, and that's one of the reasons as to why I'm gonna review it, of course. And I do plan to review more when I feel like it, I guess you can say. I'll get to it when I get to it, I suppose. So anyway, if you can find a copy of this film with good quality, I'll say get it. The version I had, the quality of that one wasn't very good, really. The picture was kind of grainy, it was kind of blurry. In some ways, I would say it's a compliment, as weird as that may sound, making it seem have, even though it was on DVD, but it had this VHS quality to it. I kind of felt that kind of gave it its charm in some ways. Of course, I'm not saying that I refuse to buy the Blu-ray version of this if I can get my hands to it. And if they actually release on Blu-ray. Some of these films are so obscure they've never been released on Blu-ray. So anyway, folks, I would say that this film gets an overall rating of a 7.3 out of 10. It gets a 7.3 out of 10 from me. And of course, as always, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time, oh yeah.